Hi, I'm Jay Halim and this is Back to Basics Showjumping. Over the course of this series, you're going to see everything from the warm-up to poles on the floor and jumping a whole set of fences. From 4-year-old horses to older horses. In this session, we are going to get to know the horses and do a basic warm-up. So, our first person of the day here is Ellie. Ellie, what's this horse you've got here?
This has been, he's a 4-year-old. He hasn't done a lot. He's done maybe a few arena hires, but he hasn't been competing and he's still quite weak and green. Okay,
and is he in much work at the moment?
Yeah, he's worked probably 4 or 5 days a week at the minute.
Okay, all right. And any particular problems that you've found so far, or just general baby stuff?
He definitely gets quite tense, so I think the warm-up would be helpful because he doesn't like stretching at all.
Okay, all right. And Izzy,
Hi.
We've got your horse here. Nice to meet you.
This is Aria.
Right.
She is 9. She's pretty straightforward, done a bit of show jumping, but she's just coming back from a bit of a injury to her leg. She just got kicked in the field. So she's been back in full work now for a while, but we're just starting holes and jumps again.
And getting going again. Okay, all right guys. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work on a little bit of relaxation with them. Obviously your horse hasn't maybe been out for a while and your horse is very green and inexperienced. We're in quite a nice bright indoor arena here today. So just start with walking around, letting them stretch, letting them have a look at the banners as they walk around. If your baby spooks at anything, you know, give him a little pat, let him understand what he's actually looking at. So just start walking around and just letting them to have a little stretch.
Okay.
So I always find it's really important, even when you kind of come out, make them walk out a little bit with a little bit of purpose. And what you want to try and create is, if the babies want to have a look at the signs, that's absolutely fine. But if you see that they're going to spook away from the signs, try and create a little bit of inside bend rather than pulling them to the outside. Actually create an inside bend and put your leg on so they don't spook away from it. That's it, give him a little pat. Just stop him and just let him look at what he's actually looking at now, Ellie. Take the pressure off and just actually stand him. That's fine, take your time, we've got all the time in the world. And this is just very, very typical behaviour of a young horse with a spooky sign. Good, take the pressure off him, just give him a pat. Let him just stand there. I always find with these young horses that it is really important to give them the time. They don't need a load of pressure in these situations. They have to understand and look at what they're spooking at. Good. And now just quietly go on to about a 15-metre circle and walk around there, Ellie. You can pop him in a little bit of a contact. And then as you come around again, just create a little bit more inside bend. Put your inside leg on. So exaggerate the inside bend a little bit. Good, that's fine, because what people tend to do is pull the horses' heads to the outside and then you lose the quarters and then you lose them completely. Good. All right, and again, exaggerate the inside bend, but in doing so, Ellie, make sure you don't cross your inside hand in across the neck. You actually need to give them a little bit of a width between the hands and put your inside leg on. There, very good. Tell him he's a good boy. And just do a little U-turn now and go back the other way. Good. And your one doesn't seem to mind too much.
No, she's not too fast.
So as you're just walking around, just take a little bit more purpose in the walk.
Yeah, she can just get a little bit.
I tend, with the young horses, especially when they're 4 and they're going to go on and doing eventing, I tend not to do too much walking in a contact. I think you can ruin a walk quite easily. So I do tend to, with the young horses, have them on the looser rein and then pick up trot and get going. But in this instance, this young horse needs Ellie to hold his hand a little bit, just to give him a little bit of confidence. So I don't mind him going into the rein, because as you can see, he's got a lovely rhythm in the walk. And, you know, the horses that tend to have a not so good walk would then start pacing a little bit, and the walk goes lateral, but he's got a lovely 4-beat rhythm in his walk. Okay, a little bit of inside bend, Ellie. Sorry that I'm ignoring you a little bit here,
Izzy.
Izzy.
Don't worry about me.
Very good. Okay, all right. When you feel it's ready, you can just pick the rein up and just get trotting forward nice and positive. If you feel that you need to start yours off, Ellie, with a little bit more of a contact, then that's fine.
Okay.
But I'd like to try and get them so we're trotting around nice and long and low and over. Now with yours, Izzy, I can see that you're encouraging her to stretch, but what I want you to do is to have a little bit of more of a contact, because you need elasticity from your leg to your hand. So therefore you need to offer them a contact to go down into. Good, Ellie, just change your diagonal. Good. And just roll your shoulders back and keep your chin up, because if you're looking down, he's going to trot down into the floor. Good.
Oh boy.
Good. Okay, so as we're trotting around, he seems to be relaxing now. What I want you to try and do when you're trotting around is lots and lots of changes of the rein. And as you change the rein, I want you to exaggerate the moving away from your new inside leg. So you're not quite leg yielding, but you're making sure that they're coming away from your inside leg, okay, rather than you just steering them around with your hand. And he's starting to relax really nicely already. How do they feel, guys?
Yeah, he feels a lot better.
Good. Just be careful that you're not compensating with that inside hand, Ellie, where you should be using your inside leg.
It's my favourite thing to do.
It is, yes, clearly. You okay, Izzy?
Yeah, she just feels a little bit lazy.
A little bit lazy.
Like
okay,
to the
so
leg a bit.
although we're going for relaxation, then maybe you're not having quite enough forwardness. So what I want you to do with your horse is just go through the gears in the trot a little bit.
Okay.
So increase the tempo, decrease the tempo. Good. So I want you to almost move on a little bit in the trot and then shorten. But when you shorten in the trot, use your leg lighter and quicker. Good. Don't let your contact get too wishy-washy, because the more you connect your one up, I think the more she'll want to go forward and take you forward. So don't mix up long and low with just chucking the reins at them.
Okay.
They need to be in the balance. Good. Just take a little bit more contact. Keep your fingers closed around the rein a little bit more. Good. Okay. And what's really nice is that Ellie's horse is now really starting to relax, and he's starting to open up his back a little bit more. Just remember, girls, that both of them, they've got to be in a level contact, okay? And there needs to be a contact to have that elasticity from your leg to your hand.
Oh boy.
Good. Keep your shoulders and your chin up, Ellie. Nothing interesting on the floor, unless there's some money and you can tell me.
Awesome chocolate.
Awesome chocolate, yes. Very good. Lots and lots of changes of the rein. Very good. All right. And maybe just let them walk for 20, 30 seconds.
Oh boy. Ooh.
It's very, very important, I find, especially with the young horses that get very tired muscles, to give them lots and lots of walk breaks. I just really aim to have them level in the contact and really moving away from the new inside leg every time that you change the rein. If you find that then they're becoming a bit too relaxed and not going into the connection, what I want you to aim to do is to then vary the tempo of the trot. So then I want you to maybe go on for a few strides and then shorten the trot for a few strides. But remember, when you shorten the trot, you need to use your leg double the speed, but light, okay? Because what you're trying to do is to activate the hind leg.
Gonna crash into Izzy.
And crash into Izzy, or try not to crash into Izzy. Okay.
Like a little riding school now.
I know. Leave me alone.
That connection's looking a lot better now. Good.
Whee!
Give him a pat. Let him just go and have a look in that corner now, Ellie. Good. And again, take the time. These young horses have a very good way of making you believe that they're relaxed, and then suddenly something catches their eyes. Very good. But take the pressure off. Give him a pat.
Good boy.
Very good. Okay. And then riders go back onto the circle with an inside bend. I think it's just as the sunlight's come through.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
think
bit of
you're
a
right.
reflection. So offer him a connection in the rein. Don't cross your inside hand over. Very good.
Good boy.
Good girl. Spend the time.
Good boy.
Very good. Create an inside bend with your leg as well. Don't draw your leg up. Keep the leg down nice and long. Yours looks like he's connecting up a lot better now.
I think she just needed a minute.
Yeah. Good. And as you're trotting around now, I just want you to throw in a few trot and walk transitions. Good, Ellie. One more circle and then go large. And hopefully he'll forget about it. Good.
Good boy.
Really nice. Create the inside bend. Well done. And then nice big forward trot and stick him in the rein. Don't worry necessarily about him being up and on the bit, but offer him a slightly stronger connection so you give him a little bit more security.
Good boy.
Shorten the rein, keep the hand out in front of you. Very good. And again, as you're trotting around, maybe not where he's just spooked, but put in a few transitions from trot, walk, trot. And again, when you're doing this, it's really important that when you come back down to walk, you wait for them to be relaxed before you go up into trot. Just make sure, Ellie, with the baby also, that as you're going around and you're doing a change of rein, it's really important to have a moment of straightness.
Okay.
Okay? So whether you're doing a figure eight or anything like that, it's really important that you put some straightness into the new change of rein. So you give them an opportunity to go onto the new bend and stay away from your new inside leg. Good.
Ooh.
Good. Izzy, your one's being the perfect example today.
Good.
Good. Try widen the hands a little bit, Ellie. Well done. Now just down a circle down that end, Ellie.
Okay.
Very good, Izzy. And as you're trotting around now, obviously we've got two very, very different horses in the arena. Izzy's horse is a little bit more established. Ellie's horse hasn't completely settled into the environment. Izzy, you can maybe start just coming off the track a little bit and pushing him away along the long side and doing a little leg yield.
Towards the wall.
Towards the wall to start off with. Very good. And in doing so, because your horse is so relaxed, just take even more contact now with your horse and just start picking him up a little bit. Even though we were looking to start to get the horses relaxed and stretching, Ellie's horse needs to relax and stretch, where Izzy's horse actually needs picking up and putting in the bridle a little bit more. And this is the difference between a warm-up and knowing the horse and knowing the rider and what's best for it, because as you can see, that Izzy's horse is starting to activate and work significantly better by being picked up into the contact. How's he feeling now, Ellie?
Yeah, better. He's starting to relax again.
Still got it in him, or do you think he's starting to relax?
No, I think he's starting to relax. I think it's just where that sun came through.
Okay,
Oh.
very good. And then throw another connection in. A transition, sorry.
I was very confused there.
Yeah, sorry, I confused myself. Back to walk. And again, let him relax in the walk. Just think of next time you go back down from trot to walk, just think about decreasing the size of the trot before you actually ask for the transition. Because with a baby, you're going trot, 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 and then you say walk and they're still taking a stride out. Where if you think about decreasing the size of the trot, the transition back to walk is easier for them. Good, much easier for him. And then he can take the hind leg down. Very good. He's really starting to relax.
Yeah.
Staying away from the inside leg, staying connected in the rein. Not that they're all picked up, they're actually stretching over into the rein quite nicely now. When we go on to do some other exercises, we have relaxation with them in the first place, which is the key to all, whatever we're doing, poles or jumps. Really good, guys. And are you feeling a fairly even contact as you're trotting around?
Yeah, pretty even, yeah.
So that's another thing that we're looking for as we're trotting around doing this exercise. We're always trying to look for an even weight in the hand. A lot of people find that their horses are set maybe on one rein more than the other. And I always find, especially with the young horses, if you can just widen your hands a little bit and make the horse take the contact in both hands and then ride forward a little bit, because it's very easy to get them a little bit back and up and not actually swinging forward. You actually want to tip the horse's balance over and get them on both hands first before they start coming up in the bridle. Good. So for me now that you've got the relaxation, we can work on just having them a little bit more off the leg.
Okay, yeah.
So we can start making the trot-walk transitions a little bit sharper. Just be very aware that you can grip a little bit with your leg, and it needs to be a very clean decision that you want to go from walk to trot. Good, and then just decrease the trot and walk. Good, that's okay. He's using his neck a little bit to balance there.
Yeah.
But that's his age and his strength and everything at the same time.
Can you go past your friend?
Good. Good. And let him relax and then trot, but one squeeze. Good, better. And then ride forward. Good. And then just let him walk and stretch. Good. All right, guys, if you want to come on over. So from what we've just done, what do you feel like you've picked up from what we've just done?
Much better connection, like a lot of leg to the hand, but not in like a keeping her forward kind of way, like even in the downwards transitions.
And I think by having the horses, it's a really simple thing, but having them move away from your new inside leg does stop you from wanting to cross your inside hand over, which is then making them go short on the inside of their neck. So even by riding a simple figure of 8, and remembering to have the straightness in between and then having them away from the new inside leg does help keep them nice and supple through the body. And then obviously with your horse regulating the tempo then helps with the connection also. Your horse obviously is very inexperienced away from its situation, and still he's starting to relax a little bit, but you can see that he's also still has a little bit of adrenaline about the day, doesn't he? That's it for the walk and trot. We're now going to go on to the canter.